Good morning and welcome to TLG's Table Talk. I am here this week with Chris Constantine from the Staging Pro. That's right. Today is all about home staging. Whether you need it, whether you want it, whether you should have it, and whether it's going to work for you. So we're going to jump right into it because I think you know, the question you always probably get more than anything as an agent, or at least I do, is why do I need to stage my home?
Absolutely. Great question, Aaron, and thank you so much for having me. Staging and interior design always has interested me. I get that eye, if you will, for staging from my mom, but it probably is what led me to real estate in the first place. All of us love the feeling of going house hunting and especially looking at model homes. And that's really the connection. If you ask me, as a real estate professional, why I feel staging is so important is to give that buyer the feeling when they walk in that they can concentrate on the aspects of the home more so than people's personal choices in their design and or furniture and or pictures. And staging just helps to create that environment. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, the wow factor.
Wow factor.
You could say. And that's true. I mean, I can tell you, I recently went into some homes that were being built. One of them was on the market. I think it was probably $1.3 million. And I walked in and I turned to my wife and I said, where's the $1 million wow?
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel it. Like I didn't feel like, why is this home worth $1.3 million?
It was empty?
It was empty to begin with. And that was the thing. But even the interior design choices, the finishes and things like that, like it didn't feel like any wow was there.
Gotcha.
So definitely I think it, like you said, it creates a connection to the buyer, and the buyer can then see different things that go on. So are there different levels of staging, or
Absolutely.
you take all my furniture out and put all new furniture in and that's it?
I have a staging assistant today. Please welcome.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, actually, I specialize in a consultative approach for my own business, and I coordinate with realtors to be able to fulfill either what I like to call light staging, which really is more of going through with the homeowner and having them depersonalize, perhaps having them move some furniture around or into different rooms or store it. And then agents can rent accessories to complement what's already there. I do light staging as well, offer that package for, like you were saying, new construction or a vacant property, where it's rugs and pictures and just accessories to warm up the space. And then there's full staging. And I do outsource that to a company that specializes in just that, because it's basically combining skills of a very good moving company and coordinating typically other contractors to participate in that full staging process, which would involve obviously furniture and perhaps drapes and basically, top to bottom.
So that brings us back to the next question at hand, which is all the rage today, virtual staging.
So, Aaron, it's timely, especially with the environment we're in and trying to do things virtually. I won't poo-poo the virtual staging because I do think it has a value sometimes, like when I mentioned a vacant property that's cost prohibitive because of the price point or the owner's particular financial situation. Instead of having, vacant pictures online, it serves a function, but you can't really virtually stage a walkthrough video or a 3D tour, which is really highly recommended these days.
So I did something cool. I had a home in Gaithersburg that was 3,500 square feet,
Okay.
approximately 5,000 with the basement because the
Okay.
basement was finished, all done, vacant,
Right.
nobody there.
Right.
So I virtually staged it. But instead of posting the pictures online, I had them printed out, probably 2 foot by 3 foot on foam core, and I placed them on easels in each one of the rooms
Yes.
that they were there.
Okay.
So online, obviously, it was a vacant home.
Sure.
But when you came and you viewed the home, you were then able to see almost a rendering of what could be done with the space.
And that's a great way to utilize virtual staging. Excellent. And that's very rare that you see that. So again, I wouldn't poo-poo it. It's just like you were saying, that wow factor. When a buyer actually does want to make their offer and they want to step foot in the house, that's a visual aid to help them. It's better than nothing being there. But that's where I feel physical staging and or just the complementary staging in a occupied property definitely is more valuable.
What's the typical price range of a home that
Sure.
should be staged?
Sure. So again, I really feel like it depends, and obviously it depends on the budget. But I've staged homes anywhere from 250 up to 750. So, and again, my level of staging in-house is more on the lighter side, if you will, or redesign is what we like to call it, working with what you have and then supplementing. Your more higher end, which would be perhaps that $1.2 million model that you were talking about that I outsource, that certainly, staging the key rooms, the kitchen, your dining, your living room, your bedrooms, maybe not all of those in that big of a house, but the ones that will certainly help make that connection, the master bedroom, for instance. So really there's a level for every price point. It really just depends on what you're working with and what the budget is.
And what's the average time to stage a house?
So the consultation itself takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then depending on the level of staging, if it's light staging, could take maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to do what I call install, which in my model, the agent would be doing with the homeowner or the agent themselves. And then if you are actually bringing in any furniture pieces or doing the vacant staging with the full accessory package for almost every room, then you probably are talking about 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. And how do you stay on top of, because obviously you're not an interior designer.
Correct.
So how do you stay on top of design trends and not get caught up in that when you're on a consultation?
So because I am a home staging expert, I'm certified by that program. The head of that certification, has resources for me to stay on top of. And I will go back to saying Houzz, which is a great app, Houzz, and Pinterest. A lot of what the consumers are looking at, I just have a more analytical way of making those selections. So sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have an analytical way of applying those to your buyer profile and what I'm currently working with in the house.
Great. So are there any tips or tricks you would be willing to give as we wrap up?
I would say depersonalizing your house before I even take a look, or your agent comes to take a look. Try and aim as best you can to connecting with that model home experience and being able to treat your property at this point as an asset and not your home. And then, if there are key features of your house that you'd really like to highlight, that you make sure there's not a bunch of furniture or a bunch of your personal tastes surrounding those features, because that will really help during the consultation or even just the meeting with your agent to be able to promote that and be able to work that into your marketing campaign.
Awesome. Chris, we thank you for your time, and we hope to have you back soon, once again here on Table Talk. And please enjoy the rest of your day. It looks like you've got your hands full.
I do. Thank you so much, Aaron. You too.
You're welcome.